Today's topic is, well, it's day 11, and it is called, or question really, where is your focus? Where is it? Continuing to focus on Paul, who was one of the greatest missionaries ever. Here's a verse. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. I know that when I have dealt with negative thoughts or negative self-talk, I've had to pray it away. Because it wouldn't result in a good day. And so as you're looking, no matter what you're looking to do, what career you're trying to get into, those negative thoughts can come into your head, and I hear them all the time. And people then get stuck or stagnant, and they don't move forward into the career because they feel they've hit that brick wall. And and that's just the way it is. Excuse me. But those who enter the field we all have had to battle that. I kept it quiet when I was entering the field. I didn't discuss it with people that I knew would not be supportive in my own family. I didn't discuss it with a friend or two. I just kept it quiet and quietly entered the field. However, when I went to visit someone at a huge employment agency in Tulsa, Oklahoma, gosh, this is, 34 years ago, I was told, I can't place you number one in legal because you have no experience. And I knew then that was not going to be true. I didn't know how, but that didn't make sense because everybody enters with zero experience. And I want you to think about that. It's not that they all have connections. I certainly had zero connections. I was not from the state I was living in. I'm from New Jersey. I lived outside of Chicago for 4 years. I was a stay-at-home mom for 7 years. I was going back into the workforce at this point and lacking computer skills. I had Apple Macintosh skills. We had an Apple Macintosh sitting at home in the dining room on the dining room table. But no one in the field I wanted to go into, they weren't using Apple Macintoshes. There was no software that was as good. Well, it's just that WordPerfect was on the IBM PC. So I had no PC experience other than the Macintosh, which was light years ahead of IBM, okay? Back then, there were no pull-down menus, when you go up there and you can see when that menu pops down. It was so antiquated and backward when I went in the legal field with the IBM PCs. And I thought, when I went to the agency, they offered training in WordPerfect. So you could go through the training, and I did, and I could not pass that test. And I thought, why is this? It was so much more difficult than a Macintosh. So I ended up, after I landed my first job, I took a course in WordPerfect for the legal field. Now the WordPerfect in the legal field, they're not using that. It's Word, okay? But back then, that's what was going on. And I could have given up. I could have just flat out given up. I was determined that I would learn this, okay? I had a focus because I felt I needed to build a career. It was either going to be a medical or legal. So don't give up when you're trying to get in this field. We tend to put these barriers in the way ourselves of, oh, they must be so smart, the people that are in this field. I can't compete with that. I can't level up. Or you don't feel that way, but a lot of people do feel that way. They'll put age as a barrier. I entered in my 30s. People think that 38 years old is old. Come on. People, the average number of careers you will have in your lifetime, well, the number used to be 5. I don't know what it is now. So cut yourself some slack and know that every time you put those barriers, and they are barriers to in here, I'm too old. No one will hire me. Well, no, not if you're applying to the wrong ads. No one's going to hire you as a beginner if the ad says 2 to 10 years experience, okay? They're not. They're putting that in there because they want an experienced person. So don't even bother with those. There's no hope for you there. You have and that's the truth. So your focus has to be elsewhere on entry level positions to get your foot in the door. I did not start out as a paralegal. Within 7 months, I entered in to the paralegal career, but I started off as a legal secretary, legal receptionist. Did I want to start off in that position? No. I was buying snacks and office supplies for this small law firm, plus learning on the fly. So was it worth it to me? Absolutely. Absolutely. It was giving me that foundation I needed very quickly, and I traded up very quickly, okay? I wasn't going to stay there because then I would have been stagnant. There was no hope for me to become a paralegal in that law firm because they had a different mindset. I needed to be hired by someone who saw me as a potential paralegal, okay? So, fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. When you get into those negative thoughts, stop it in its tracks and say, I am going to get in this field, or whatever it is you're looking to do. Okay? And you're going to find out how to do it. How do you do it? You learn all you can about the field. You're like, well, Leslie, I have my 2-year degree, or I'm going for it, but now I'm getting scared because people are telling me they can't land a job. Well, if you keep listening to them, then you're going to be in the same old place. Everybody started with 0 experience. I want you to focus on that. What happens is you will have everything that has affected you negatively in your life come up and rear its ugly head to keep you stuck. And this is the series that we're in right now. It's called Unstuck by Kimberly Jones, and we're on day 11. Go get that book and follow along. Get it on Kindle. It's on Audible. It's hardcover. I don't think it's in paperback yet because it just launched this summer, but go to Amazon and look that up. While I'm talking about that, make sure, and I'll continue, but make sure you go to my website, paralegalcoffeetalk.com, and look at the tab Paralegal Resource Hub. That is free. There are videos there you should watch, okay? If someone could see all of your negative thoughts, or all of your thoughts, would they see mostly negative, mostly positive, a mixture? I mean, for me, it would be a mixture. I've had to strive to cut off negative thinking. I don't mean to be Pollyanna and everything's all positive, and I don't mean that. But when I face things that most of it I can't control, I can control my actions, but the people around me I can't control, but I can control my response to them, or how their ridiculous comments or their troubles that they face that affects how they live their life. How it impacts me? Yes, it's called protection of your mind. And it truly is a battlefield of the mind, okay? Including getting into this field. So don't let anything bog you down. There is a way to get in, okay? With no experience. That's what I teach. Paul was he was one of the greatest missionaries ever, and he had been a persecutor and murderer of Christians until Jesus took him down literally off his horse and said, Saul, why dost thou persecute me? And to say that Saul's life was changed and the Lord changed his name to Paul was an understatement. He got his attention. He blinded him for several days, and people were afraid. They helped him because he couldn't see. They found him on the road and they helped him, but they recognized him as a major evil man and persecutor. But they helped him, and they saw the change in him, okay? So when life is hard, disappointing, painful, hopeless, filled with negative self-talk, that's the battlefield of the mind. And what I do is I pray when that's going on, and I use God's word to thwart that, okay? So where's your focus? Is your focus on the negative? Well, Leslie, I've tried for 4 years to get into this field. I tried for 6 years and no one will hire me. Like, what's so special about what you teach? There are ways to grab the attorney's attention. And what you have done in the past to do that wasn't grabbing the attorney's attention. You know, in your cover letter, in extra work you put in. I don't care if you have a PhD in paralegal studies. You weren't taught some very practical things. And you certainly weren't taught how to do a cover letter. And you weren't taught what the attorney wants to see in that cover letter, and also wants you to know that you were not taught. There you go. Okay? And that's what I teach. So when my membership is open in September, mid-September, join. Okay? Join us. 36 videos, 36 plus videos. Join the resource hub, that's free. And what else? Look under the legal break-in tab. Now that is for people that are not in the legal field. That's not for somebody who's been in the legal field for a year or even really even 6 months, you know, but you can read on my website under that legal break-in tab, the table of contents, okay? It's a short book, 80 something pages. You'll breeze through it in you know, a couple nights and underline things in there, highlight, make notes. It's for people who are looking at this career for the first time. I know it will help you if you're that person. Okay, it's not for somebody who's been in the field for a year or two. That you're no longer a rank beginner. Okay, you're on your way at that point. This is my focus. My focus is on people who are looking at the career for the first time, who have had trouble breaking in spite of getting an online certificate or a 2-year or 4-year degree. And that is rampant, okay? Because I can tell you for the last 30 years, since, well, I would say, yeah, it's been approximately, I would say it's been 29 years since AOL came out and a Yahoo group popped up for paralegals years ago. And gosh, that Yahoo group had thousands of members because that was one of the only groups online at the time. And person after person would talk about, I can't get in. I can't, I've tried, I'm beating my head against the wall. So that's why I eventually developed my course. Looks like I'm frozen. Hopefully not. We'll see. That's why I developed my course, the Beginner Paralegal Growth Accelerator course, okay? So stay tuned for more info on that. But join the Paralegal Resource Hub. Those videos will help you. And go over to the website. Lots of information there, okay? Have a great day, and I will talk to you in tomorrow's video.